Welcome back to episode 8 of the Bankstown Line podcast, focused on Wiley Park train station. Wiley Park station is quite interesting as it actually opened well after the extension from Belmore to Bankstown. It opened on the 19th of June 1938. This was to provide an interchange with King George's Road. While majority of the stations after Campsie and after the extension were island platforms, this station was built with side platforms, and the architecture of the station buildings is significantly different to the other ones, making Wiley Park Station stand out compared to the other ones. Wiley Park Station buildings consist of these yellow type brick buildings, which is seen at a lot of other train stations, as this was right around the time that a lot of well known stations were being built. Wiley Park Station consists of two straight platforms, which makes it extremely easy for the metro trains to arrive and depart from the station without having to curve along the platform and have gap fillers extend out, as the platform is completely straight, meaning platform screen doors installation will be very fast and efficient. Wiley Park Station has received new canopies as well as new facilities, a new entrance, new stairs/ramps, and brand new lifts, as Wiley Park Station originally was not accessible. Wiley Park Station is once again a heritage listed station with including some old waiting rooms on platform number 2, which I actually walked past quite recently. These waiting rooms, from what I understand, are pretty much always closed off. However, I do hope they keep them there for the metro conversion and maybe even do them up a little bit and have it as a little waiting room, giving a nod to the history of the train line and how, from what is currently a metro line in the future, was originally a train line which serviced trains all the way back to the steam era. Wiley Park Station is one of the most least used stations along the Bankstown Line, with an average of 2,011 passengers tapping on daily back last year in 2023. That's a total of 733,880 total passengers that tapped on or off at Wiley Park Station in 2023. Wiley Park Station is located right near one of the main services building for the new metro line, which houses a lot of key components for the new line, which have already been complete. It consists of a pretty much fairly plain white building with some trees alongside it. I've made a mention before in a recent podcast episode, but I actually think it looks quite a lot like Cherrybrook Station and almost gives a nod to the history of the area and also while giving a nod to the future metro extension towards Bankstown. As well as the major upgrades to the station, Wiley Park will also have brand new retail shops at the station entrance. This means that Wiley Park Station will be one of the stations to be most heavily upgraded, as well as a few others on the line, as Wiley Park has never ever had lifts, only a set of old stairs down to each platform, as well as barely any canopies. The station entrance for Wiley Park has pretty much been completely rebuilt and modernised to fit metro standards, and will eventually have retail spaces in there, allowing for people to buy their morning coffee before jumping on the metro. Wiley Park Station is one of the few stations along the line expected to have a huge boom in passengers using the station compared to what it is like at the moment, as Wiley Park Station will be built and designed to have a lot of people using the station at one certain time. As with all of the other metro stations along the line which are currently train stations, they fit 8 carriages, however will be shortened to 6 carriages as the metro trains are only 6 carriages long. Thankfully, with all the stations, they have left the extra space which fits the extra 2 carriages for the existing Sydney train services, so if ever in the future metro services are extended to 8 carriages, it can be easily applied to the stations. This is the same on the current city extension and as well on the northwest extension portion of the line. At the moment, it takes approximately 30 minutes to get an all-stop service to Central Station direct on the T3 Bankstown line. By Sydney Metro, it'll take 24 minutes, saving up to 6 minutes time. The station with the most significant amount of time savings is Barangaroo Metro Station, which at the moment takes up to 54 minutes to travel there. However, with Sydney Metro, it'll take only 30 minutes. This is up to 26 minutes of time savings for a station that is in the heart of Sydney's CBD. Stations like Macquarie University up north currently take an hour and 15 minutes to get there by changing trains at Sydenham and catching the metro up towards Macquarie University, originally getting on the T3 Bankstown line from Wiley Park. When the metro opens all the way up towards Bankstown and back towards Tallawong, it'll take only 50 minutes to get to Macquarie University, a time saving of up to 25 minutes. Wiley Park Station has also received a whole lot more greenery, which I'm a very big fan of, as Wiley Park Station was one of the most barest stations in my opinion in Sydney before it was upgraded. It has actually now become one of my top 3 favourite stations along the Bankstown Line, with Bankstown obviously being number 1. There's a lot of more greenery and more security, which means it makes it harder for trespassers to get through to the train line, obviously including the very tall 3-metre fences that'll have these special detectors to detect if anyone is attempting to trespass into the rail corridor, as this will of course be in a more dangerous sort of area where these driverless trains will be running. If a person comes into contact with the fence, it will be notified to the metro train to slow down or potentially even stop to avoid any collisions with people on the tracks. And that sums up Wiley Park train station, soon to be metro station. I hope you enjoyed this episode of the Bankstown Line podcast, and let me know if you enjoyed it in the comments below if you are watching this on YouTube. I hope you enjoy the rest of the podcast, and thank you all for tuning in to this episode of the Bankstown Line podcast.